Keep the change, you filthy animal.
The most wonderful time of the year. You are the crazies in the lab. I am Lee, and you saw that title right there. We are talking about 8 Christmas Mandela effects for the year. Yes, we're doing 8 Christmas Mandela effects. Yes, that's right, to blow your mind, get you going. This is where I usually say, y'all remember some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you, but they will be new to somebody else. But these are holiday ones, so hey, they can be new, they can be old, but they will be new to somebody else. So best believe that for sure. Also, with that said, man, if you like this at any time, y'all remember to hit that good old thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your Christmas messages as well as your Mandela effects down below so we can do another one of these Christmas Mandela effects before the holidays is over. So without further ado, let's get this moving. Let's go and do an 8 Christmas Mandela effects. Number 8 for today, we are going to the North Pole. Yes. Yep, the North Pole. You know it already. I know it already. You're sitting here like this already. But for the ones who don't know about the North Pole, let's quiz you out. What do you think? Describe the North Pole to yourselves. Describe it to yourselves. Right. Yes, North Pole is on the north part of the hemisphere. It's covered in ice. That's where Santa Claus lives, right? Well, yes, Santa Claus does live there. It's at the top of the world, yes. But what if I told you that there is no ice on the North Pole? There's no ice in the North Pole. It is literally just part of the goddamn ocean. It's an ocean. There's water, no Iceland, no nothing, no mass or anything like that. Google even brings it up saying that there's no land. It is one big ice glacier, which is crazy to me because that's where Santa Claus came from. Let alone there's people that live in the North Pole too as well. But what do y'all remember this great old North Pole Christmas Mandela effect for? You do always remember the North Pole having ice, being an ice sheet of ice where Santa Claus lived and everybody goes, Buddy the Elf ran away to go to New York to? Or are you in this reality remembering the North Pole and never having ice and just being a body of water?
Those who's are hard to frazzle, Max, but we did our worst, and that's all that matters.
His heart grew 10 times the man, and it grew and he grew and he saved the sled. And yes, we are talking about Grinch, and we're talking about the Grinch who stole Christmas. Yes, that is right, the Grinch who stole Christmas. Well, in my reality and many other realities, that was the title of the book and the movie too as well, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. But in this reality, this day and age, in this timeline of physics of life, it never was Grinch Who Stole Christmas. It was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. What? Are you telling me it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas? We knew How the Grinch Stole Christmas because it was the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, not the story of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It blows me away, and it's hard to find any kind of evidence of it being the old way we all remember. We all remember, I know you do remember, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. That is the title of the damn thing. But this reality, like I said before, it is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and it just throws me off. But how do you remember this one? Has it always been to you How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Or are you like me and millions others of us Dr. Seuss fans, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
You sing alone, you can sing in front of other people. There's no difference.
Actually, there's a big...
3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. That is right, we are talking about the 12 days of Christmas, and my quiz to you for today for the Mandela effect is, were they given or were they sent? Yes, did your true love give or did your true love send to you? Ding, 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 ding. I'll give you 5 golden rings if you got it right. If you are saying my true love sent to me, you are right. You're correct. In this reality, it always has been my true love sent to me. That is right. That is right. But in my reality and millions of realities, my true love, their true love, all gave to me. That is right. My true love gave to me. That's how I remember it, but it has never been gave to me. It is sent to me, which makes no sense because your love's right there, right? Your love's with you. She's giving it to you right now. That just means your love was far away. She wasn't even there and she had to send it to you. But how do you remember this Mandela effect? Has it always been to you, my true love sent to me? Or are you like me and millions, many of millions others? my true love gave to me.
Oh, fuck.
You're gonna shoot your eye out. You're gonna shoot your eye out. Yes, we're talking about freaking good old Christmas Story. We're talking about Ralphie to himself. Great movie. I love this movie. It's just the greatest movie of all Christmas movies of all time, besides Christmas Vacation. But we are talking about Ralphie. In the first one, we are talking about his glasses. Now, how do you remember his glasses? Do you always remember his glasses being black? Or do you remember his glasses being kind of like a reddish brownish color? Now, if you are saying black, well, you are wrong but correct in my universe. In my universe, they were black. That is completely what they were. They're completely black. But now in this universe, this reality, they are kind of this brownish, reddish, they just kind of like that new plastic stuff that you see nowadays kind of color, and it looks so modern for the time of this movie to me. But how do you remember that? Now, as well as we're staying on Ralphie, and we're going to the pink nightmare, and you already know what I'm talking about, the bunny rabbit, the bunny suit. And look at the bunny suit and look at the ears from the feet and the ears on top of his head. The ears, the inside of his ears. Do you always remember those ears being that pink? Now, if you're saying yes, well, you're correct. That is exactly what it is and exactly how you see it in this reality, at this time and age, this day and age. But in my reality and many other realities, we remember the bunny suit, those ears inside of them being white and a little light pink too as well. White and light, not that bright of a color at all, but inside the ears. It just looks so off now with that. It just like it blows me away. But how do you remember these Mandela effects? Do you remember the black glasses? Or do you remember the brownish reddish glasses? And how do you remember the bunny suit? Those ears, man. Do you remember them being that bright of a fuchsia pink? Or do you remember being in white like I do? That is right. On this breaking news, on this Christmas special, I actually just wanted to kind of put a Christmas facts into the mix real quick as we were doing the Mandela effects. And I just wanted to put some Christmas facts in it. So my first fact of Christmas is that Die Hard, the movie, yes, the Bruce Willis movie itself, the first one, yes, it was filmed during Christmas time, but is not a Christmas movie. That is correct. Die Hard, the original Die Hard with Bruce Willis, is not a Christmas movie. And if you don't believe me, here's from fucking Bruce Willis, the man himself.
I did this roast for one reason and for one reason only: to settle something once and for all. Now please listen very carefully. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a goddamn Bruce Willis movie.
That is right. He tells you it is not a Christmas movie. It's a Bruce Willis movie. That is correct. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. That's one fact. The second fact has to do with I guess we call it a Christmas song, but it is not originally or not meant for Christmas. And I'm talking about Jingle Bells. That is right. Jingle Bells is not a Christmas song. It's not a traditional Christmas song at all. Jingle Bells is actually a song about guys going to a bar, going drinking, and going out there to try to find some girls. You know, Jingle Bells. That's exactly what it is. Craziness. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Jingle Bells is not a Christmas song. Breaking news. Christmas facts.
I suppose it all started with the snow. You see, it was a very special kind of snow.
Don't worry, kids, I'll be back another day. And we are talking about Frosty the Snowman, indeed, since I'm singing the song. And Frosty the Snowman, the lovable, huggable, magical snowman that comes alive during winter time. And we are all picturing Frosty in himself right now. And now we all know that he had the coal eyes, he had the button up, he had freaking carrot nose, and he had the magical hat that brought him to life. And he also had a wonderful neck and tire to keep his neck warm, right? Yeah, man, Lee, he had the scarf, right? He had all that excitement on it. Well, I'm wrong, Ben. You're wrong because Frosty the Snowman never, ever wore a scarf at all. Never had a scarf, never seen him in a scarf at all. In this reality, at least, because he never had one in this reality. Now, in my reality, he had a scarf. Many realities, he had a scarf. You see it right here. He had a scarf. And I know some people might be like, Lee, there was a second one, and where he was wearing a bow tie, you've been getting him messed up. How in the bloody snow hell am I going to get a bow tie messed up with a scarf? Not happening. Not happening. How do you remember Frosty? Do you remember Frosty always having that wonderful scarf around his neck? Or are you from this reality, and this reality, or your minds be erased, and all you remember is Frosty being the way he looks now with no scarf?
But do you recall the most famous
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. But we're not talking about Rudolph himself because we already know he had a shiny nose. He already led the freaking reindeers through the snow with Santa, all that stuff. We are talking about the other reindeers, 2 of them to be particular. But, well, listen to this.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen.
Now, as you were singing all those names, naming all the names, does that sound right to you? All of those names of the reindeer, all those names, including Donner and Blitzen? If you're saying yes, well, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm wrong. Everybody is wrong because those reindeers' names was never Donner and Blitzen. That is correct. It was Damter and Blinksman. Yes, it is. I can't even pronounce it right because it blows my mind away. Donder and Blixen. That is right. You see it right there. I'm showing you right there. That is the name of those 2 reindeers. So you're telling me we've been singing this effing song completely wrong. We've been getting these names completely wrong. And you can go through the list and songs of this song and listen to them all. And most of them say Donner and Blitzen, Donner and Blitzen, Donner and Blitzen, Donner and Blitzen. I quit looking because all I heard was Donner and Blitzen, Donner and Blitzen. And it is. Google Peter says it's Donder and Blixen. I am mind blown about this, but how do you remember these reindeers? Have you always and still to this day call them Donner and Blitzen? Or are you from this reality and know that it's always been Donder and Blixen?
Look! The Northern Lights!
All aboard the Polar Express! Yes, we are going on a journey. We talked about this in the live yesterday, which was an awesome live. Thank you for each and every one of you that showed up, put in the conversation, man. We were there for 4 hours. And I brought this up, and I'm talking about Polar Express, the movie, Tom Hanks movie. You already know what I'm talking about. Probably one of the greatest, on the top of the list, Christmas movies of all time, Polar Express. Well, you hear me calling it Polar Express. To you, was the movie always called Polar Express? Yes, Polar Express. Now, if you're saying, yep, exactly how it is. I watched Polar Express the other day. Hey, have you seen Polar Express? Yeah, I seen Polar Express. It was an awesome movie, man. Polar Express gets a 10 out of 10 for me. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. It never was Polar Express. You never told somebody you watched Polar Express because it was always the Polar Express. That is right. Another "the" put into something that was taken away. The Polar Express. That is correct. That is what the name of the movie is and always has been, the Polar Express. But how do you remember this? Has it always been the Polar Express for you, like in this universe? Or are you like me and many of us that have described this movie telling somebody to go watch Polar Express? Chimney goes Saint Old Nick. Oh yeah! Click, click, click. Yeah, so we are talking about Up on the Rooftop. Yes, Up on the Rooftop, that wonderful song you sung when you hear him click, click, clicking on the roof before he goes down the chimney, puts all the stuff in the stockings for all the kids eating the daisies. And we are talking about technically the name, the title of this song. Yes, you heard me call it Up on the Rooftop. That's correct. If you have always called it Up on the Rooftop, you're correct. If you are still saying Up on the Rooftop, you're wrong, because I've been just saying it too. You're wrong. It has never been called Up on the Rooftop. It is called Up on the Housetop. Oh, up on the housetop, click, click, click. It just sounds weird to me. Up on the housetop. Now, the original version poem of this, it was Up on the House. Yes, you can look up these lyrics and it's Up on the Housetop. But yet, the song to me and the title to me was always Up on the Rooftop. Click, click, click. That's just what it was, Up on the Rooftop. But how do you remember this great classic song? Do you always and still to this day sing it Up on the Rooftop? Or are you from this reality and have been singing it right the entire time, Up on the Housetop?
With a big ribbon on his head. And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Crazies. Yes, you were in the lab. Lee here. You saw that title too as well. We're talking about 8 more Christmas Mandela effects for this holiday season. That is right. 8 more Christmas Mandela effects to make you question this reality we live in. But before we do get this going, y'all remember that some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you. They will be new to somebody else. So please respect that in this holiday season. And if at any time you enjoy this video, please remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me those comments down below about these Mandela effects and others you would love to discuss on this channel. So further ado, let's get this going. 8 Christmas Mandela effects, and we're going to start off with the number 8 one of the day, and it is Twas the Night Before Christmas, and all through the house nothing was stirring, not even a mouse. And you know this wonderful rhyme poem, if you want to say, even a story too, if you want to put it that way. But I am talking about the last verse of this whole poem, this. Bump, bump to all, and all a good night. Yes, you heard it right. Now, here we go. Is it Merry Christmas to all, and all a good night? Or was it Happy Christmas to all, and all a good night? Now, if you are saying Merry Christmas to all, and all a good night, well, guess what? You're correct in my reality, because in this reality, it never was Merry Christmas to all and all a good night. It has always been Happy Christmas to all and to all a good night. Happy Christmas. What in Christmas blah blah is going on in this world? I remember this. Millions of us remember this. Merry Christmas to all and all a good night. This blows me away because it's Merry Christmas, not Happy Christmas. You might as well just be saying Happy Holidays now. Feels like the whole cancel thing has got put into this Mandela effect, and in this one as was The Night Before Christmas. But how do you remember? Do you always remember it the way it is now and always has been? Happy Christmas to all? Or are you like me and millions of us remember it being Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night?
And I, Jack, the Pumpkin King.
That is right. We are talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes, and with this Mandela effect, some people might say this is now a Halloween movie, but it is still a Christmas movie just because of that damn Mandela effect. And we're talking about this Mandela effect right now. And we're talking about 000, the ghost dog. And walked around with Jack, and I'm talking about his nose. What does his have on his nose? Picture his nose. Picture his nose. Now, is it a red ball on his nose? Or is it a jack-o'-lantern? That's why I said some say now it's a Halloween movie now. Well, if you're saying jack-o'-lantern, well, you're right. You're right in this reality. Always has been a jack-o'-lantern. Always probably will be a jack-o'-lantern unless it flip-flops back and forth. But in my reality and many other realities, we remember good old 0 having that red ball on his nose, like you see right there, a red ball. But it's not there anymore. Never was, never has been. And it has always been the jack-o'-lantern on his nose. That blows me away. But how do you remember this Mandela effect? Do you always remember the jack-o'-lantern the way it is now in this present day and time? Or do you remember it with the red ball in our past reality that seems to be getting wiped out?
Stand up!
Probably one of the great movies too on this list. We were talking about Christmas movies yesterday on Alive, and I just couldn't think of all of them, but the Santa Claus is definitely one. Shows you what would happen if Santa Claus would die and who would take the reins. And this has to do with the Santa Claus Tim Allen movie. And how do you spell Santa Claus, or how is the movie spelled? As I throw these pictures up for you, which one is the correct spelling, the correct title of this name? Now, if you are saying the one with the E on the end of it, well, you're correct. You are correctamundo in this reality. It has always had the E on it. But in my reality, many other realities, we remember Santa Claus with Tim Allen being just Claus without that E on the end. It blows my mind. It just looks awfully weird there. Even though that they even colored the E freaking red just to throw it in your face, because you know how the Mandela effect like these E's too as well. But how do you remember Santa Claus? Do you always remember the E being on the end of Claus? Or are you like me and many of us remember Claus without that E?
With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. Ho, ho, ho!
Max, help me, Max, help me. And we were talking about the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, or the Mandela effect, as we did before on the last Christmas one we just did, how the Grinch stole Christmas. But this one actually has to do with an oldie but goodie Mandela effect and the placement of an organ that is in our body. Now, all of us know that the organ of the heart, our heart, has moved to the center of our chest, which a lot of us remember it always being on the left side of our chest. That's where you put your freaking hand on your heart when you got to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We always remember the heart being on the left side. Well, here's a little evidence of the heart being on the left side.
Yes! Down the size of the hat!
His little heart is on his left side, but I even did a little more reaching into this movie too as well. And the scene where his heart grows 3 times the strength of men of all times and grows, even as you see his heart is beating on the left side of his chest. That's where his heart is, not in the center, but on the left side of his chest. But how do you remember this Mandela effect and the heart? I should say the heart Mandela effect. Do you always remember it being in the center of your heart or center in your body? Or do you always remember it being on the left side, just like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas's heart?
Oh, I cannot leave this for miles. Dasher, Dancer, Bouncer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donna, Blitzen.
Yes, we're going to break into this a little bit, take a little break from the Mandela effects and give you some Christmas facts like I have done in the last one. If you haven't checked out the last Mandela effect ones I did for Christmas, please check it out. It is the latest Mandela effect down below that you would see there for you. But the Christmas facts for today, I got 3 of them for you. The first one is going to be Santa Claus and how fast does that sleigh move? How fast does he deliver these presents? Now, he got to deliver a present every 10th of a millisecond, so it's crazy. So he goes, and I looked it up, and I'm throwing it up there, 0.5 times the speed of light. That is crazy. Times the speed of light, 0.5 times the speed of light. He's flying, he's hucking, he is traveling. They broke it down for you there. I wasn't going to give you all the statistics. I gave you the easy, dumbed down version for myself and for you. The second fact of this is, 1 out of 3 men, and that's 1 out of 3 of y'all, buy their Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve. I'm dead serious. 1 out of 3 men don't wait until Christmas Eve to buy Christmas presents. That is crazy. So 1 out of 3 men. So basically 1 out of 3 men that you walk by today or you know isn't going to buy that Christmas present either for you or for somebody else until Christmas Eve. That is crazy. It blows my mind too as well. And the last one for y'all too as well. What was the first song played in space? Yes, what was the first song played in space? Take a little gander. What could you think? It was Jingle Bells. Yes, I know we said that Jingle Bells wasn't traditionally a Christmas song. It got thrown in there later on in its time. But yes, Jingle Bells was the first song ever to be played in outer space, or space if you call it. That is crazy, huh? Nice little 3 facts of Christmas, man. Santa going the speed of light, 5.5 speed of light. You got 1 out of 3 men gonna wait till Christmas Eve to buy Christmas presents. And then you got Jingle Bells playing in space, being the first song to be played in space. I think it'd be like Rocket Man or something, but hey, I didn't take the CD up there, I guess. Up on the chimney, click, click, click. Up on the rooftop, St. Tonic. I know I sang it all wrong. And we are going back to Up on the Rooftop. As we know that it's not rooftop anymore, it is Up on the Housetop. But this has to do with the verse and kind of who goes down the chimney. Now, we all know Santa Claus goes down the chimney, but in this song, they give him a particular name, to be precise. Now, do you remember old Saint Nick going down the chimney, or do you remember good Saint Nick going down the chimney? Now, if you're saying, Lee, it's old Saint Nick, you're wrong. Just like I'm wrong in this universe. It has never been old Saint Nick in this universe. Never has been, never will be, possibly. It has always been good Saint Nick. This blows my mind because we know he's good, right? Good Saint Nick. Old Saint Nick. How can it be good Saint Nick? Because in my reality, many other realities, it's always down the chimney goes old Saint Nick. Old Saint Nick, not good Saint Nick. It blows my mind away, throws me up for a boggle, and I don't know what to think about it because it destroys me. But how do you remember it? Has it always been to you like it is now, good Saint Nick? Or do you remember it like I remember it, and millions of us remember it, old Saint Nick? Joy to the world, our Lord. And we're talking about joy to the world. And that wonderful verse that I was just singing right there that I did not finish. This Mandela effect has to do with the Lord and the part of where, well, you know, he comes. Well, and you just heard me say that. Yes, joy to the world, our Lord has come. Is that how you remember this verse of this line in this song, the very first freaking verse of this song? Joy to the world, our Lord has come, right? Our Lord has come. But what if I told you it's never been the Lord has come? It is the Lord is come. Don't look at me weird like that. I blew my damn mind too when I looked it up. As you see right here, joy to the world, my Lord is come. I don't know what to play. I do not know how to think about this one because you cannot mess up the first lines of a verse. It's the first line of the song, the first line of the verse. Joy to the world, my Lord has come. That's how it is. My Lord has come. My Lord is come. What is going on with this Mandela effect? It is utterly getting crazy now. But how do you remember this Mandela effect, this song? Has it always been to you, my Lord has come? Or has it always been like it is now in this reality, this day and age? My Lord is come.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your...
Bye, buddy. I hope you find your dad. Yes, Elf. We're talking about Elf, a great movie. One of my top 5 Christmas movies on the list. Will Ferrell, amazing, amazing, amazing. And I'm talking about Elf himself, Will Ferrell, the Elf. And his dress getup, what did he wear? What did he have on? You knew he had his little hat. He had his green thing all the way on to his knees, a little bit of his knees. He had his stockings up. He had his little bell toes. And he had his little furry fur roughed down, little white fur all the way down his shirt, right? Had a little furry all the way down, right? All the way down, like Santa's jacket, all the little furry fur all the way down the jacket, right? Right. You say it right? Yeah, I said right. Wrong. You're wrong. I'm wrong. Because in this reality, it never had the furry thing going all the way down. It is only around his neck. It has only been around his neck. It's always been around his neck. Never always had the furry down on it. It is around his neck, as you see right here. I tried to find pictures of this thing going all the way down his damn body, and it's not there. I can't find it. I can't seem to find it, and it blows me away because I remember it going all the way down. It just wasn't his neck. It was all the way down. But it never was that way. Never has been, never freaking will be, possibly, or maybe not. You know how this Mandela effect. But how do you remember Elf and his get-up? Do you always remember the collar being white going all the way down with the fur? Or do you remember the way it always has been, just around his neck?
This is it. Don't get scared now. This is it. Don't get scared now.
I almost feel like it wouldn't be a Christmas Mandela effect for one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, Home Alone. Yes, Home Alone, Christmas Mandela effect. Here we go. Now, there's a scene in this movie where they're all going into the car, into the vans to be able to go to the airport so they can catch their flight, so they go on their vacation, right? This is how Kevin gets left. And she gets in the car, have you done all cats? And there's a scene in there where the kid is playing a gaming system, a portable gaming device. What was that gaming device? Do you picture this in your head? What was that gaming device he was playing? Now, if you were saying, Lee, he was playing a Game Boy. Game Boy was huge back then. It was there. That's what they were playing in the car. That's what he was playing. He was playing a Game Boy. And I agree with you. He was playing a Game Boy while he was sitting there doing the count, okay, waiting for this van to start going off to the airport. But we're wrong. All of us are wrong. All of us. Everybody who just said Game Boy, we're all wrong. We're wrong because it's not a Game Boy at all. I don't even know what it is. As you see this scene right here, it is not a Game Boy. It is like some little regular Tiger game, if you want to look at it. And it kind of flips to the screen where it kind of looks like a Game Boy on the other side of it when you see the back part, but it's not a Game Boy. It is not a Game Boy at all. I don't understand it because I remember him playing a Game Boy because that was the biggest ticket item you can find in them days. And guess what? It was in that movie, but it's not now. So how do you remember this scene? Do you always remember that kid having a Game Boy playing while he was waiting for this van to take off? Or are you like this in this reality, this time and age, and this Home Alone, I guess, lost and left behind? I don't know. Always been that little tiger fucking looking weird gray box. It's not a Game Boy.
Horrified, I heard myself blurt it out.
I want an official Red Ryder Carbine Action 200 range ball air rifle.
Ooh.
No. Shoot your eye out.
Oh, no, it was the classic mother BB gun block. You'll shoot your eye out.
BB guns are dangerous. I don't want anybody...
Ho, 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 you crazies. Y'all are in the lab. I'm Lee, and y'all saw that title too as well. We are doing 8 more Christmas Mandela effects to blow your mind. That is right. 8 more Christmas holidays Mandela effects to blow your mind, question this reality we live in, and finish off this wonderful year too as well. But before we get this going, y'all remember that some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you. They will be new to somebody else, so please respect that. And with that also said, if you like this at any time, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. We are 50 away from 2,000. Y'all hit that sub up button there for me, as well as leave me your comments about these Christmas Mandela effects and now other Christmas Mandela effects to do too as well. As this being the last week of Christmas, ending this series out for this wonderful last 8 more Mandela effects I got for you. I got some facts and I actually got an extra Mandela effect for you too, so that makes 9. So let's get this going, man. We're actually going to start off with number 9, and we're going to be talking about the upside down Christmas trees. Yes, the upside down Christmas trees, as you're seeing right there. Yeah, everybody remembers. You remember that big craze years ago about everybody, hey, let's go get us an upside down tree? And I never heard about it ever again. I thought maybe I had flipped in realities and stuff like that. But apparently, upside down Christmas trees have been around since the 7th century. Yes, that is correct, since the 7th century. Basically, it was pagans in Germany that started the whole upside down Christmas tree. I do remember this. A lot of people don't remember the upside down Christmas tree. I remember it having that little big fling and blowing up there like early 2000-ish. But other than that, it disappeared. But I do remember it, but it is crazy to learn that this thing has gone back since the 7th century. But how do you remember that? Have you always noticed an upside down Christmas tree? Has it always been from the 7th century? Or are you kind of like me? It just really just got made in the 2000s. right, we are talking about Deck the Halls. Yes, Deck the Halls. The song Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly. La 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 la. We are talking about Deck the Halls. And for me, around this, I was looking up this Mandela effect, and there's so many people that have heard it Deck the Hall with not the S, and a lot of people have heard it Deck the Halls. I've always remember it being Deck the Halls. It is actually currently now Deck the Halls. I do feel like this is a flip-flop, but I did find a little bit of research, a little bit of things of paperwork, music scripts that does say Deck the Hall. Now, I don't know what to think about this one. Mandela effect, maybe, possibly. To me, it's always been halls, never hall. Never have I seen that hall. But it is so odd and weird that there is actually two kind of things about it there. And I just don't know what to think. So what do you think, and what do you remember? What did you always think? Has it always been Deck the Halls, or has it always been Deck the Hall? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and then if you ever, you would even say it glows. Yes, we are talking about Rudolph. We are talking about the part that I exactly left off. Now, in my reality, it has always been, if you have ever seen or saw him, you would even say it glows. Well, it's never been if you've ever saw him. It has always been if you've ever seen it, you would say it glows. That is right, that is correct. If you have ever seen it, you would even say it glows. Now, in my reality, my mind, I sung this chorus through all the Christmas stuff, and in my head, it was always Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him, you would even say it glows. That's right. If you've ever saw him. But how do you remember this? How do you remember this song? And how do you remember this Mandela effect? Has it always been to you like it has been to me? If you ever saw him? Or are you like from this in this reality? If you've ever saw it.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even
I'm in a kettle. I'm in a cap. Had just settled down for my long winter nap. That is right, we are talking about 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and that verse, that line of this wonderful poem itself had just settled down for a long winter nap. Now, as you are seeing it to me, hearing it to me, and saying, Lee, yeah, that is exactly that. What's wrong with it? Well, guess what? We're wrong. We're wrong and wrong and wrong. And our reality has never been just settled down for a long winter's nap. It has always been had just settled brains for a long winter's nap. That is right, just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. I never remember this verse like this. I never thought of this verse. To me, it sounds, now that we say I'm just settling brains, it feels like zombie apocalypse is going to be coming after us in our sleep on Christmas. But to me, it was always had just settled down for our winter's nap. That is how I remember it. It blows my mind. Even people saying the first part I said it at, mom's in a kettle. Now it says mama too as well. Kind of blows me away. But how do you remember this line? Has it always been the way it is for me and for you in the past universe as I just settled down for a winter's nap? Or are you from this universe and it always has been for you? Had just settled our brains down for a long winter's nap. That jolly old man Saint Nick. And we're talking about Santa Claus. That is correctly correct. And we're talking about Santa Claus get up, his entire, what he wears, particularly his jacket. Now picture his jacket, close your eyes, picture it. And do you remember or recall Santa Claus having the buttons going up his jacket? Yep, I said buttons, little buttons, little buttons, the Colby buttons going up his jacket. If you are saying yes, and I'm saying yeah, well, even me, even myself, my reality, Santa Mr. Claus always had those little buttons going up his jacket. Well, the holiday spirit's going to get knocked out of you, because good old jolly old Saint Nick, Santa Claus himself, never had buttons going all the way up his jacket. That is correct. He has that fuzzy, furry, all friffle going down, the white fur going all the way down his jacket now. I know some might say, well, he's hiding the buttons from it, but even when you see an open jacket, it's just the fur too as well. Now we know where the missing fur from Elf went. Now, how many people remember that? How many people remember him having the fluffy, the fur going all the way down his jacket? And how many people, including myself, remember Santa having the good old buttons going up and down his wonderful jacket that kept him warm?
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun.
Oh, I had to stop the broadcast because I have some clicking on the roof. Maybe it's Santa's reindeers, maybe it's him, who knows? But I got 4 fun Christmas facts for you. And we're going to start off with the first one, did you know that Christmas was illegal? Yes, that is right. You could not celebrate Christmas in 1659. Oh, yep, you couldn't give presents, you couldn't put a tree up or nothing. It was outlawed in 1659. They thought it was some kind of devil worship. But it lasted all the way till 1681. Crazy blows my mind that you could not celebrate Christmas back in basically in the 1600s. Yes, Christmas became legal and celebrated in a traditional holiday within the 1700s. Second one is that good old Saint Nick. We leave him out milk. We leave him out cookies for him to eat when he comes down, get his chimney, get his good old energy back so he can just deliver all these packages. Did you know that the Americans stole that tradition from the Dutch? Yes, we stole it from the Dutch. Dutch little boys, Dutch little girls used to leave cookies and milkies out there for his Santa Claus for him to consume back then. And actually they started that on December 6th is when they start celebrating the Kris Kringle celebration. Next one is, what is the most recorded Christmas song ever recorded in history? Give you a second. No, it's not Jingle Bells. No, it's not Silent Night. Oh, wait, it is Silent Night. Silent Night is the #1 most recorded song during any holiday. #1 Christmas song ever recorded, ever. It's crazy, but I think about it, and I can think of a few people that sing Silent Night. Boyz II Men is the first one that comes into mind because of the christening with Nicki, Mike, Sunshine, Wanye. But that's how I remember it. And your last one for you today is that Christmas trees. Christmas trees take 15 years to grow, develop, so you can place that tree inside your house. That is crazy. And it takes you 15 years so they can put that tree in your house, either upright or upside down. 15 years, Christmas was illegal. Silent Night's #1 song, as well as we took the cookies and milkies from the Dutch to us. Christmas facts.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Baby, let poor Rudolph playing any reindeer games. Yes, then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa Claus came to Rudolph. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is another Mandela effect I got for you. For me, I've kind of seen it both ways. I'm not positively sure, but I had looked this up, and a lot of people say this has changed. And it does look a little different. Look at Mr. Rudolph himself. Yes, Mr. Rudolph himself. Look at his head. Do you remember his horns always being that small? I don't question it. I question it to myself. If you're saying no, then you're right to me, because I don't always remember him being that small myself. Maybe it was misguided in my head or something like that, because, to me, they always were basically really long ones, or he didn't have any at all. But it is weird to me because they have horns. They have those little horns now. And then after through the whole thing, Rudolph gets his big old antlers and stuff, but it blows my mind. But how do you remember Rudolph? Do you always remember Rudolph as he was little, having those little horns, little antlers? Or are you like me and just thinking that was just weird, but they were bald, or maybe they were just a little bit bigger? I am not sure about this one. Let me know down below, please.
The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Yes, we are talking about Star Wars, the Christmas special, the Christmas episode, and how a lot of us never remember this Christmas special. Now, this Christmas special came out on ABC. It was a special that was premiered for Christmas back in 1979. Now, it blows me away because I am a Star Wars fan. I know that I wasn't born in the 70s, but damn it, I'm an 80s kid. I loved all the Star Wars. I've seen them all. And damn it, have I never saw this damn Christmas special in my entire life. In my entire life, it never existed. It never popped up until what? Gosh, 10 something years ago, but when this Mandela effect started going on, it blows my mind. But there's a Christmas special. There always has been a Christmas special, but it's so corny and weird and odd for that to be a production of Star Wars. You'll have to check it out. But it is so weird that it's like that, and it just makes like they just put everything that they possibly could do to ruin it into this, to make it a movie that is nothing like a Star Wars movie at any kind. But how do you remember? Do you always remember the Star Wars Christmas movie? Or are you like me and many of us? Like Star Wars Christmas movie? No.
I warned you, Brad!
Oh, you can't get them wet. You can't feed them after midnight. There's so many rules you gotta have with a gremlin. Yes, a gremlin, Ewok, whatever you want to call him. And we're talking about that great old classic gremlin that turned in, had the beautiful spiked hair. We're talking about Spike. Yes, Spike, as you see him right there. Ain't that wonderful? Isn't Spike gorgeous? Isn't he was one of the greatest characters of all time of being on the Gremlins? But his name was never Spike. That is right. His name was never Spike. Apparently, in this reality, he was always called Stripe. Stripe, yes, a racing stripe through his back. His hair was a stripe, not a fucking spike. A stripe. It blows me away because there, you can look it up and you can Google it and it doesn't correct you. It doesn't correct you if you put Spike in it. It keeps it right there. But then if you scroll down one little notch, it says Stripe. Blows me away. I always remember Spike. He was spiky. He had spikes. I know you remember his spikes, but how do you remember? Has it always been Spike to you? Or are you from this reality, this timeline, and it's always been Stripe? Oh yeah, that is right. We are down to the last one. We are talking about Christmas Vacation, the great classic scene where he's plugging in the lights. They don't turn on. They don't turn on. He goes crazy and he goes buck wild on Santa, right? He kicks Santa, he's punching Santa out. He's going crazy. He kicks Santa, goes into the bushes, and he goes back. Lights come on and everything else. Hallelujah kind of greatness. Right? Yeah, Lee, you just described that whole scene, that whole spot of that movie. Spot on. Well, you're completely wrong. Look.
Damn it! God damn it!
He punches him and then just kicks him. What? He just punches him and then he kicks him. No. I remember him beating him down and then he kicked him into the bushes. That is why Santa's got that dented eye right here on the side. As you see right here, he's got this dented eye in because Clark popped him in his damn eye so many times. He sucked that damn eye in. Santa got his butt beat by goddamn Clark in that thing. But as you saw right there, it never happened. It was just a punch and a kick. That's all it was. It was a ha. But I don't remember that. I always remember Clark going crazy on him real quick and then kicking him. Angry Nerd Dude remembers it too. I know many of y'all remember that, but how do you remember it? Do you always remember it the way I have just described it all to you and acted it out? Or do you remember the way it has always been with the ha-sha? A punch and a kick. There we go. We got the Christmas Mandela effects out the way for the year. Yes, 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 I gave you 9 of them. I hope everybody did enjoy. I hope everybody is having a wonderful holiday. Remember, y'all, if you like this at any time, please remember to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe, because we are almost at 2 Gs. We are 50 away. As well as leave me your comments about these Mandela effects and others you would love to talk about. And with that said, y'all please have a safe, a blessed holiday season, a Merry Christmas to all, and a good night.
Something we never thought we could have.
And what is that?
Another chance.
I think I heard a shot. I think I heard a shot.